Constitution's just a ghost in chains. Freedom slipping down the drains. Rise up, break the chains. No billionaire should run the game. Lying, scheming, stealing rights. If we don't fight, we lose tonight. End of democracy comes in waves. Justice buried in shallow graves. Stand up loud, don't be the slaves. Unmake the cage, unmake the cage. Tick tock, time's running out. They're burning the laws, there ain't no doubt. Oh no, America, what you gonna do? Rights getting burned and they're coming for you.
Hey everybody, holy cannolis. I don't know what happened. I completely spaced out again. Guys, this weekend has been wild. We've been celebrating a girl child's graduation from high school, so I'm a little behind and very, very sleep deprived. But that's no excuse because the demolition of our democracy marches on whether I have sleep or not. So, as you notice, I am not in the studio. I have to move the studio, guys, from the garage to a new location because it's hot as hell, okay? It's like been 90 plus degrees here in Oregon for the past few days, which is 21 degrees higher than normal, but there's no global warming, so don't worry about it. Anyway, so I decided instead of getting heat stroke to be here in the living room talking to you guys. So let's dive into this, guys. The last time that we checked in with Elon and Daddy Trump, Trump was giving him a golden key to the White House. And then Elon, of course, went on a, ketamine-fueled rant about weird stuff, attacking the New York Times, etc. And since then, they have been in a Twitter truth battle for the last week that finally culminated in Elon tweeting that, the whole reason why the Epstein files haven't come out is because Trump is in them, as if that's breaking news. As if that's breaking news. Like, there are hundreds of photographs, guys, of Trump with Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. This is not, and Melania and Ivanka. Like, he's known Epstein for a long time. Okay, this is not a revelation, but then Elon had to delete that, and the war rages on. This is all a distraction, though, because let's focus in. Let's focus, because part of one of the goals in Project 2025 is to instigate martial law in our country. And how do we get to martial law? How do we get to a complete fiefdom where we cannot fight back, right? Well, you have to have a situation in which the President of the United States believes that the citizenry of the country are enough of a threat to the government that they can then use military force against the citizens, which is not allowed except in a very specific instance. So what are we seeing right now? There are immigration protests across the country. Okay, they are happening. They're all over my TikTok feed. They're all over my YouTube feed. I'm watching them. I'm supporting them. People are marching everywhere to say no to ICE. They're saying no. They're standing up for their neighbors. Okay, we've seen this also on legacy media, where they've highlighted a few stories where, a Pakistani woman was taken from her literal restaurant that she's owned for like a decade and swooped away by ICE, and the whole neighborhood came together and was like, "Not today, Satan," and then she got returned, right? We've seen children being abducted off the street. We've seen schools have raids during graduation. We've seen people abducted from bus stops and Home Depot parking lots. Okay, it is insane. They are raiding restaurants. Even, Chuck E. Cheese, and by that I'm referring to Kid Rock, who owns a restaurant. What did he do? Even though he's Mr. Trump with the flag and the things, he closed his restaurant so that his workers who, I wonder, I guess they're not documented? so that they wouldn't be rounded up. Even Kid Rock knows what's happening. Okay? So we have massive protests. Where are the, paramilitary police being deployed en masse to cause bullshit with the protesters who were doing nothing except for telling people no and standing in front of ICE places and saying, not today? Los Angeles, Chicago. Okay? Why aren't they doing that in Florida? Why aren't they doing that in Mississippi? In all of the red states? It's only happening in these little blue alcoves. This is not by accident, it is by design. Because now they've already called in, bypassing the governor of California, mind you. He did not ask for the National Guard. Okay, that's supposed to be the state's initiative. The Republicans love to talk about states' rights, states' rights, states' rights, right? So Trump called in the National Guard and deployed them because he declared an emergency in the state of California for protests happening in downtown Los Angeles. Now, people like to say all of Los Angeles is under danger. Guys, Los Angeles is enormous. It's happening in a small area in Los Angeles. This is the same shit they did with Portland. Portland is a big city. The Black Lives Matter protests that were happening in a small area in downtown Portland, not in all of Portland. But they made it seem like all of Portland is on fire. Don't go to Portland. It's dangerous. It's like, oh my God. It's the same thing. Los Angeles is like 10 times the size of Portland, okay? Their downtown area where the courts are, where ICE is and all that stuff, right? That's like the size of all of Portland, okay? Right? Just to give you a comparison. But Los Angeles is an enormous city. And by the way, also includes legally like Santa Clarita and the entire valley is all technically Los Angeles. All those other little cities that you hear about that are like cities, but they're not really, and then they're part of the county, but they're also part of LA. It's so confusing, guys. It is so confusing. It's so stupid, okay? But the amount of like square mile that this is happening, maybe like less than 5. Okay, and I don't know the exact, let's look it up right now. We're going to look it up right now. What is the square mileage of Los Angeles? And survey says 501 square miles. I'm going to repeat that for the people in the back. 501 square miles. Okay, 32 square miles of that is water. Okay, those are the various lakes and whatever. Okay, 501 square miles. Okay, that's a fuck ton of mileage. Okay, how many square miles of downtown? Okay, the square mileage of downtown Los Angeles is 5.84. I was off by 0.84 miles. So out of 501 square miles, 5 of them are where the protest is in different areas. And there's other protests happening in other parts of Los Angeles. Okay. So just to break this down, guys, it is not all of Los Angeles. It is not anywhere, near a lot of shit. They are protesting in very specific areas near these government offices, near the Home Depot that was raided, etc. Okay. So let's, please, media, please, I beg of you to fucking get this straight. But back to my point. So now Trump has already called in the National Guard, and we have 500 Marines from San Diego on standby. Why is this important? Because if he has to deploy, and I'll put the has to in quotes, if he has to deploy actual active duty military, because the National Guard isn't the same thing, the next step is declaring martial law, which means all of the laws of the land are suspended. And what those troops and what those guardsmen and what the police say goes. It's a suspension of rights. What else can he do during a time of martial law? That's right. Suspend elections. Do not get it twisted. This is a step-by-step process to eliminate our power as the citizenry of this country. So what does that mean? Should we stop protesting? Should we sit down, let them abduct people, let them abduct children, and send them to God knows where? Absolutely the fuck not. Absolutely not. You cannot sit idly by while children, cancer patients, the elderly, people who are working. Here, put this in your mind, guys. If these people are so, not contributing to society, why are they being picked up at work? Why are their places of work being raided? Can anyone make that make sense? How is someone who's, sucking on the teat of our government and bleeding America dry, as the right likes to say, working and get it abducted while working? Can you imagine that you're in danger for your life because you're going to show up to work today? Or how about the school filled with parents who were not documented, but their children were born here, who had to run from their child's elementary school graduation? We're talking parents of kindergartners, parents of second graders, maybe sixth graders, who had to leave their children at the school, who are fully documented citizens of this country, and run for their literal lives. And those kids, those babies, did not know if they were going to see their parents again. This is the most un-American, most diabolical thing that I have seen in my lifetime that is being done in the open. Let's put that asterisk on it. Because this is the same shit that they've been doing in reverse, okay, for hundreds of years to our indigenous people here, the hundreds of tribes that were here long before one person stepped off the motherfucking Mayflower or any of the other fucking boats that came here. The difference is, let's look at this, guys. If you go to a tribal area, okay, technically those tribal areas are not like America. They have tribal laws and they have their own tribal enforcement. However, asterisk, if you are a non-native person and you go to the tribal lands and you commit a crime and you leave said tribal lands, that tribal officer cannot come and get you. They cannot arrest you, even if they witnessed the crime. It has to be referred to the state and the FBI. What the actual fuck? If somebody came into my house and committed a crime inside my home, I call my local police officer and they handle it. Right? People who have been here for centuries do not have those rights. So now, instead of that just being like a backdoor thing that just happens, that nobody talks about, now we're having people kidnapped off the literal street to be sent to who knows where because they don't have papers. Okay? And also, I'm just going to say this, and this is a suggestion that was put out there by an immigration lawyer, okay? If you are trying to buck the system right now, and you're like, I'm not part of the system, and you don't have a real ID, and you don't have a valid passport, you are only fucking yourself. Go and get those things. Okay? Because I can tell you what, TSA is cracking down. If you don't have a real ID, you're not getting on the plane. Or you better show up with like 20 pieces of fucking identification and be ready for an extra long interview. Okay? This is serious business. We are this close, this close, guys, to martial law. This is not hyperbole. This is not exposition. This is facts. Meanwhile, we have Trump and Elon trading jabs, on social media. Who gives a fuck? Okay? They're both fucking criminals. Period. Full stop. Elon Musk is a criminal. We have Steve Bannon calling for him to be deported. Like, can you imagine? Can you imagine if ICE goes to his Starship town that he's building in Texas and decides that he's going to, like fucking arrest, they're gonna kidnap Elon Musk and send him back to South Africa? I mean, And as a result of Trump saying all these nasty things, what did Elon say? Oh, you wanted my Starship? You want my rocket ships to take your astronauts? Go fuck yourself. We have privatized NASA. We have given the keys to that castle to Elon fucking Musk. What? What? And now the president of the United States is going to have a pissing contest with this bajumba, right? And take away the one thing that Elon thought he was getting. Elon was given carte blanche to walk into every governmental department, scrape all of those departments for all the data that he wants for his fucking Grok AI, right? And to enrich himself by selling everybody's personal information. No problem with that. And he went in there and single-handedly stopped every single lawsuit, investigation, and everything else that was going into him and his companies. Okay? So success for him there. But Trump made sure he got fucked at the drive-thru, even though he paid for Trump to win Wisconsin. Right? Bought him the election, bought daddy the election. Took back the electric vehicle incentives. It's like, so sorry. Elon thought that his money was going to buy the ultimate con man's loyalty. Trump has never kept a promise, never once kept a promise that he's made to any investor. The man has gone bankrupt 7 times. He's never fulfilled any promise to any investor. Why would he start now? Why would he start now? Okay, but now, because we have beef between the president of the United States and one of the richest people in the entire fucking world, who comes out a loser in this? Not Trump. No, he's got billions of dollars now from his own crypto scam, from all of his land deals in foreign countries. He's a legit billionaire now for the first time in his life. Now, he's not as rich as Elon. Not yet. Working on it. Right? We're the losers. Now, last time I counted, 2 people versus 300 million, we seem to have the odds in our favor. We seem to have the odds in our favor. Yet somehow, because one of these assholes is the president of the United States and the other asshole owns most of the technology in the United States, we are somehow at a loss? No, we keep fucking fighting. We keep fighting and we keep telling assholes like Donald Trump and Elon Musk, go fuck yourself. Okay? Not today, Satan. Not fucking today. Because if we don't keep fighting, if we don't hit back, that's it. Democracy is done. Democracy is done in this country. These are the facts of the matter. And please, I beg of you, stop thinking someone else is going to do something about it. If you want something to change, you have to stand up. You have to speak out. You have to say no. How do you do that? Well, you can join the protest. Or if you can call your representatives, go to your city council meetings, go to your elected officials' town halls, write to them, call them. You have to start speaking out. Okay? You can tweet about it. You can post about it. But you have to start doing something. You have to let them know you are not with them. You are not going to sit idly by. Okay? Because there is no lane that either isn't in this fight or you got to get out of the way. Because this is a fight. This is a fight for not just our rights, okay? Not just like niceties like food and water. This is for the very existence of the United States of America. And if you do not want to stand up for what you believe those stars and stripes stand for what you believe the promise of America is, then I suggest humbly, find a way out of here. And I'm not even putting any shame on people who leave. There are plenty of people who are on TikTok, who are on YouTube saying, I escaped America. And that's an accurate description, y'all. People left when he became the only candidate for the Republicans the second time. They're like, I'm not doing this again. I'm not doing it again. And I don't begrudge them anything. Some of us don't have that luxury to pack up and go. And by that, I mean the financial means to do so and the lifestyle choices that have led you to be able to, not have full commitments here that ground you in America, like children, parents, etc. So for those of you who can go and are thinking, should I go? The answer is yes. Save yourself. That's okay. I'm not mad. But if you are here for whatever reason, by choice or other situation, you have to fight. You have to stand up. You have to do something. This is not something that you can just observe from the sidelines. There will be no sidelines in the next 5 months. We will be lucky to make it through this summer, guys. I'm going to be honest with you. Look at where things are going. And I just want to also say for the record, these protests, the protesters in Los Angeles and Chicago and other places, okay, they are peaceful. They are out there to bring awareness and to say no to ICE. The people who are stirring up problems, the people who are starting aggression are, in fact, the police, are, in fact, the masked government agents, are, in fact, the National Guardsmen. Okay? People are out there playing cowboy, shooting tear gas and flashbangs at people who are marching peacefully. Because then what does the news show? They show people running, they show people pushing back, not initiating the pushing of an officer. But let's think about that for a second. Here I am. I'm in a t-shirt and sweatpants right now, guys. If I were on the street saying whatever to a police officer, doesn't really fucking matter. Okay? And that police officer comes and gets in my face. I'm not moving towards them. And they come get in my face and they shove me with their baton. And I choose to not be shoved. And I push back. Is that a crime? The police treat it like a crime. They'll beat the fuck out of you and then arrest you for assaulting a police officer. I'm not the one wearing armor. I'm not the one with a fucking helmet and shield on and an actual weapon, a baton. But I'm the criminal. This is where we're at, America. So if you do choose to go protest, okay, you need to be smart and you need to be safe. Okay? You need to be smart and you need to be safe. Do not, and I cannot stress this enough, do not move towards, in any way, shape, or form, law enforcement. Every step forward you take is a step of aggression. If you're standing across the street and you want to talk to them and they move towards you, take a step back or sit down. If you sit down and record yourself sitting. Have your phone out. Have every camera available out. Do not, I repeat, do not move forward. There are people recording you. There are body cams. And if they come at you and you are sitting, that's a lawsuit on them later. If martial law gets declared, there are no more rules. They will literally do whatever they want. It will be like the purge. The only other time in history in California where the National Guard was called in against the wishes of the California governor was during the 60s. In the 60s, during the civil rights protest movement. We saw the results of what happened then in Los Angeles and San Francisco. It was not good. They're trying to recreate that now. But it's worse because their end goal isn't just corralling violent protesters who are not violent, by the way, who just want people to have due process, which is their right in this country. But they want the reason to declare martial law so that everything is suspended. Habeas corpus, reasonable doubt, reasonable suspicion. Please be aware and put pressure on your local media to make sure that they are accurately covering and using the correct language. This is not a riot. There are no riots. There are protests happening, which is people's First Amendment right. But the czar of Homeland Security has already said in an interview on tape that, if Gavin Newsom and if, the governor of California and if the mayor of Los Angeles, Karen Bass, cross the line, they can be arrested. So Homeland Security is already zeroing in on the governor, the sitting governor of a state, and the elected mayor of a city, of one of the largest cities in our country, threatening them with arrest if they cross the line. Now, to back this up here, let me pull up, let me just get it up here. He's been truthing a lot this morning. So let's go here. That's just sirens behind me. I hear those all day, guys. There's nothing going on here. So let's go back. I mean, there's just so much going on here. Let me go back to yesterday. Okay. I'm just pulling up the right truth here. so that we don't have to like scroll through. All right, let me share this with you guys here. Okay, so this is Truth Social. Okay, we're going to go through these. So a day ago, he says, if Governor Gavin Newsom of California and Mayor Karen Bass of Los Angeles can't do their jobs, which everyone knows they can't, then federal government will step in and solve the problem. Riots and looters, the way it should be solved. Okay, no one asked for them. No one asked for anything from Trump. Okay, 0 people. Because there's no riots, there's no looting happening, okay? Then he goes on here and says, great job. This is just a few hours later. Great job by the National Guard in Los Angeles after 2 days of violence. There has been no violence, clashes, and unrest. Not really accurate. We have an incompetent Governor Newsom, I'm not going to say it the way he wrote it, and Mayor Bass, who were, as usual, just look at how they handled the fires, and now they're very slow permitting disaster. Federal permitting is complete. I don't even know what that means. Unable to handle the task. These radical left protests, they are not, by instigators and often paid troublemakers, they are not, will not be tolerated. Also, from now on, masks will not be allowed, including gas masks that people are wearing because they're shooting tear gas, guys, okay, to be worn at protests, except for, of course, by Homeland Security and ICE, right? They get all the masks, okay? What do these people have to hide and why? Well, what do these fucking ICE agents have to hide? Again, thank you to the National Guard for a job well done, okay? Then he goes on to post some propaganda video about the protests. A once great American city, Los Angeles, has been invaded and occupied by illegal aliens and criminals. Not true. Now violent insurrectionist mobs, nope, are swarming and attacking our federal agents to try and stop our deportation operations. Yeah, because they're illegal. But these lawless riots, they are not riots, only strengthen our resolve. I'm directing Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, and Attorney General Pam Bondi in coordination with all other relevant departments and agencies to take all such action necessary to liberate Los Angeles from the migrant invasion, there is none, and put an end to these migrant riots. Order will be restored. The illegals will be expelled and Los Angeles will be set free. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Okay. Again, this is 16 hours ago here. Governor Gavin Newsom and Mayor Bass should apologize to the people of Los Angeles for the absolutely horrible job they've done. And this now includes the ongoing LA riots. There's no riots. These are not protesters. Yes, they are. They are troublemakers and insurrectionists. I'm sorry, sir. You do not get to use the word insurrectionists ever. Remember, no masks. Paid insurrectionists. Like literally, he's just truthing back to back, okay? Then he posts a video of himself, okay? Jim McDonnell, the highly respected LAPD chief, just stated that the protesters are getting very much more aggressive. No, false. And he would have to reassess the situation as it pertains to bringing in the troops. He should, right now, don't let these thugs get away with this. Make America great again. Looking really bad in LA. Bring in the troops. Arrest the people in face masks now. I'm sorry, face masks are illegal now? We made a great decision sending in the National Guard. This is from 2 hours ago. To deal with violent, instigated riots in California. There are no riots. If we had not done so, Los Angeles would have been completely obliterated. I'm sorry. It's 5 square miles out of 501. No. Totally false. The very incompetent governor, Gavin Newsom, and mayor, why are they in quotes? They are elected officials. And Karen Bass should be saying, thank you, President Trump. You are so wonderful. We would be nothing without you, sir. This is a literal thing that he said. This is not me making this up. Instead, they chose to lie to the people of California and America by saying that we weren't needed. We? Oh, you mean the National Guard that's at the discretion of the governor of the state? We? No. And that these are peaceful protests. They are. Just look at one of the pictures and videos of the violence and destruction tells you all you have to know. We will always do what is needed to keep our citizens safe so we can together make America great again. No, sir, no. Okay, then he's yelling about Biden, then he posts this stupid thing, and then whatever the fuck this is, wins from the Trump White House keeps that. Oh my God. Then more, this some fucking WWE shit. Or not, I'm sorry, MMA, not WWE. That's what's on his mind right now, guys. Seeing a lady MMA boxer. Okay, and here's Elon's bullshit. Now Elon is back with Trump, bitching about, fucking Newsom. This is not okay. You know it's not okay? Deporting people who don't need to be deported. Why is he retweeting JD Vance and Trump? Now he's trying to be like, I'm American. Look at me. Don't deport me. I'm American. Right? Oh, good. Neuralink. Like, this is the things that he's doing. Look at his rocket, guys. Look at his penis. It's bigger than everybody's. Right? Like, Starlink. Look at me. I'm a good person. Whatever happens, we have got the spaceships and they do not. Okay. The people of America continue to trust X. It's the most trusted. No, it's not. You can't even make a thing that doesn't, Anyway, guys, as you can see, he was fighting with Trump, and now, see, yesterday, he's retweeting this, and now all of a sudden he's like, America. Guys, it's all fucking bullshit. But we have to keep our eye on what really matters, okay? What really matters is that they are taking our rights away. They are taking away the very fabric of the Constitution. They are shitting on it. And they think we aren't going to pay attention, right? They think the gays aren't paying attention right now because we're, especially the lesbians, we're all up in arms because we just lost Fletcher, fuck JoJo Siwa, and Billie Eilish all in one weekend. Okay. Yeah, I'm pissed about that. But that's not the most important thing on my mind right now. I did watch the movie Civil War. And if you haven't watched that movie, go watch it. Because that is where we are headed, y'all. That is where we are headed. That movie is not an entertainment. It was a prediction. Is what a threat? The rockets thing or something I said, Jane? Oh, let me see if you guys have any questions or comments here real quick. What does he think will happen to the economy if California decides not to be in the union anymore? He thinks that won't happen. He thinks he's going to call the bluff. I mean, I've seen several things where people are calling for California to secede. They're calling for the Republic of Cascadia, which would include California, Oregon, and Washington. Yeah. I mean, I'll vote for Cascadia. I'm a yes on that. Yeah, you can't eliminate the seventh largest economy in the world and think nothing's going to happen. If California were even by themselves to say, you know what, fuck you guys, we're building a wall around the whole state and peace out, deuces. California's going to be fine. They have enough resources, food, everything to be an entire ass country. Okay? They can do it. 100p. They don't need nothing. from America, from the federal government. I mean, I'm a native Californian, you know, that's where my birth certificate's from. Maybe they'll take me back. I don't know. But this is stupid. This is a stupid war. It's not like he's going to war with Mississippi, you know. No offense to people from Mississippi, but, you know, it's a poor as fuck state. And without government finances, nothing would exist there. They have, you know, they got nothing. So, yeah. Can you put Nevada in there? Sure. What's the debt to who? What's the debt to who in California? Debt to who, Matt Fury? Who is that debt to? The federal government? I mean, Trump already said they're going to cut off federal funds to California, and Newsom said, okay, bet. Then we're not paying any taxes to you, so you can go fuck off. And if Californians don't pay federal tax, how many billions of dollars is that the federal government won't get? That's what I'm saying. They don't need nothing. So, yeah. Huge sponsor. Well, I'm not going anywhere without my kiddos, guys. So, and they're in school. Yeah. But guys, here's the deal. Please, number one, be safe. Okay? Be safe. Do not make wild choices that are not good for your mental health or your physical health. Okay? Because in order to keep fighting, you need to be physically well and mentally well. Okay? If you are physically and mentally able to go to the protests, go to the protests. Help out. Bring water. Bring sandwiches. Something. Okay? You know, bring a sign. Bring a bullhorn. Whatever you think is helpful. Okay? But be safe. All right? Or call the mayor's office. Call your city council. You know, call your representatives. Call your senators. Okay? Call the governor's office. Right? Let them know what you want as a citizen, because they work for you. Let's not get this twisted. Our representatives, our elected officials, and the police work for us. We pay them. We pay them with our tax dollars. That's where their salaries come from. I'm your boss. Your paycheck comes from me. Okay? They are civil servants. I am the civilian you are serving. Start taking that back. Even the President of the United States, Donald Trump, I didn't fucking vote for your ass, but guess what? You work for me. I'm your boss. I'm the captain now. And I say, you're fired because you are the most un-American piece of shit that I've ever seen. And that's the message we need to be putting out there. We're the boss. That's how it works in a representative democracy. We, the citizens, are the boss. Do not forget that. Okay? Do not forget that. You're in charge. Take your power back. Take your power back to the streets. Take your power back to the elected officials, to the town halls, to everywhere. You're the boss. All right? You're the boss. I don't think so, Vernon. Only thing that would affect that is if the permit got pulled because they're deeming it to be, you know, they don't have the resources or whatever the fuck. And if the city does try to pull that shit, then people organizing the protests need to make sure they get a permit on the books very soon for another permitted protest. So, yeah. What are the crowns in the comments? Joe, do you want to explain the little crown? I don't think that's a crown. It's a badge. There's a badge. Yeah, we do need to impeach Trump, Jane. We absolutely need to impeach Trump. Guys, don't get distracted by fluff and stuff. Don't get distracted by Elon and Trump. Okay? But we need to impeach this motherfucker. He's destroying democracy from the inside out. And it's not just him. Every single person in his administration, every single person involved with Project 2025, all of those people need to be held accountable, and justice needs to be done on them because they are criminals against democracy. There you go. Thank you, Joe, for explaining that. For explaining the crown badge situation in the chat. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. I'm going to be keeping up, and I'll try and do another broadcast later where we are showing the actual protests so you guys can see what's going on in real time, and not the hyperbole from the president. But realize the reason why I read all that out is because that is what the fringe right is hearing. They think that that's true. They think that there are riots happening. There are no riots happening. The violence is only coming from the National Guard, ICE, Homeland Security, and the LAPD. And the LAPD needs to get their shit together. And the National Guardsmen, you took an oath to protect the Constitution. I want you to remember that. You took an oath not to Donald Trump, not to any president, not to any elected official. Your oath is to America and the Constitution of the United States. And if you are being ordered to violate that Constitution, that is not a legal order. Stand up. Do your fucking oath. Do your oath. All right, guys. I love you. Be safe. Be smart. Okay? And let's keep fucking going because we got to save democracy, y'all.
Constitution's just a ghost in chains. Freedom slipping down the drains. Rise up, break the chains. No billionaire should run the game. Lying, scheming, stealing rights. If we don't fight, we lose tonight. End of democracy comes in waves. Justice buried in shallow graves. Stand up loud, don't be the slaves. Unmake the cage, unmake the cage. Tick-tock, time's running out. They're burning the laws, there ain't no doubt. Oh no, America, what you gonna do? Rights getting burned and they're coming for you.